Hi everybody, welcome to another Excel Girl tutorial. Last week I did a video about if conditions. In this video I talked briefly about if conditions and how you can use them and apply them in your life. And today I was thinking about how I didn't go into the subject as deeply as maybe I should have or I could have. So the purpose of this video today is for me to go in a little bit deeper on if conditions, also nested ifs and ors, and all the things that you can apply to your if condition to make it more robust, to test more premises and for you to test it on different data. You apply it to multiple factors. An if condition can be as big as you need it to be. So today I just thought I'd give you some of the tools where you can build up your own if conditions. So I always like to give examples where you can start thinking of how this might apply to your life, to your business, or whatever you are using Microsoft Excel for. So the example I came up with was this that you see here. I own a shop and I'm doing the inventory of my shop. I have here all the items that I sell. As you can see, they're quite varied: shirt, trousers. I have dresses, coats. Then here on column C, I have the colors that I sell these items in. And I've decided that I want to assign a code to each of the items that I sell. I have here the codes that I'm going to be assigning. And I've decided that if the item is a blue shirt, I'm going to assign the code 124. If the item is a red shirt, I'm going to be assigning the code 125. And if it's any other thing, I want to assign the code 111. So let's get started on the most simple if condition that I can do with the example I have here. I'm going to look for blue shirts and assign to them the code 124. Let's start with that. So I come in here, I start my if condition. You may remember from last week that the way the if works is you have your logical test where you put in whatever it is you are testing, and then you have your value if this condition is true, what happens if your logical test is true, and then the value if your logical test is false. And I said this last week, this is quite important. The value if false is not mandatory. So you can have an if condition where you have your logical test, you have the value if this logical test is true, and then you end it there. Let me do that example first for you. So we are looking for blue shirts. What I need to do here is two conditions. One of my conditions is that I'm looking for a shirt, and the other one is that I'm looking for color blue. When I have more than one condition to put on my if clause, I need to start it with an and. And the way the and works is I can put as many conditions as I want. I separate them with a comma, and they all have to ring true. So let's start with the shirt. I'm saying that this, as my first condition, needs to be a shirt. Then, as my second condition, I'm saying that the color needs to be blue. I close my and it's very important that you pay attention to the brackets. Now, Microsoft Excel helps you with that by color coding. So here I see it in red that I closed my and I am now within my if, comma, and value if true. So if it's true, as I said before, I want to assign the code 124. And because the value if false is optional, let me finish it here just to show you. So if I drag my formula down, or if I simply just double click on the end of it, you can see that what is happening is every blue shirt that it finds, it correctly assigns 124, but then anything else, it recognizes that it doesn't fulfill my initial logic formula. So it assigns the value false because it's not true that it's a blue shirt. So what I need to do here is assign a value if it's false. The tricky thing here is that I don't just have a value that I assign when it's false. So I can't just put 125, because if I do that, and I'm going to show you, I have all the values here now become 125. I still have my 124, but this is wrong. So for example, this case is right, the red shirt 125, but then the blue trousers, really I needed this to be a 111 as per my code. So what can I do here? The only way that I can play with this now is if I put in another if condition. So this is what we call a nested if, and it means that you have if conditions within if conditions. It will work on exactly the same way as the if we've done before. Type in my condition, and again, I have two conditions that I need to fulfill. Now I am looking for color red, and I'm looking for the item still to be a shirt. So again, I want an and. Now I want this to be a shirt, and I want the color to be red. Make sure when you type in your conditions that you always type in the same format that you looking for. So for example, if I had left it all with the caps, it wouldn't have recognized it as the same string as you see here. So make sure that type in the same format. Close my end. As you can see, you have the little purple brackets here. And now within my if condition, I want this to return 125 if true. And finally, the value if false, 111. So let's study what I've typed in. I've typed in that if shirt and blue, 124. If not, if and a shirt is red, 125. If not, 111. I'm missing a bracket here, so close it, drag my formula. There you have it. You now have the 125s for red shirts, the 124s for blue shirts, and the 111s for everything else. So there you have it. This is the way I've done it, and I am sure you could do it another way. This is Microsoft Excel. It's a very versatile program. So if you had a similar task and you don't exactly do it the same way I do it, it's fine. It's all about the way you are thinking, and think about what you're trying to do, you test it out, and you come on to the right result. Now, I've shown you an AND condition. Now I want to show you an OR condition, which works exactly the same way, except you don't make two conditions mandatory to be true. You are saying that either one or the other, or both, need to be true. So let me give you another example. I here have the same set of data that I had before, and now I'm assigning a code again, but I decided that if the item is a shirt or a dress, doesn't matter which, so if it's a shirt or a dress, I want to assign the code 28. If it's trousers, I want to assign the code 15. If it's a coat, I want to assign the code 79. And if it's other, I want to assign the same code of 111. So the way I do this if condition, the way I do my logical test first for the shirt and dresses is I'm inserting an OR. And what does this mean? It works exactly the same way as an AND does, where you can put as many criteria as you like if they're separated by a comma. Here, what we are saying is that they don't both have to be true. So in the example before, if you remember, it had to be a blue shirt. So both the condition blue and the condition shirt had to be fulfilled. Here, we are saying that if the item is a shirt or if the item is a dress, I'm designing the code 28. Therefore, my first or logical would be if the item is a shirt or item is a dress. Doesn't mean that they can't both be true. You might have an example where they could both be true, but what I'm saying is that for my if condition to be met, I don't need them both to be true. I just need one of them to be true. So close my brackets for the off condition, and now I am going to assign the code 28 if this is true. Check out what happens. If I drag my formula down or I double click at the end of it, look, you now have shirts, dresses, number 28, anything else false. So what does this tell me? I need another if condition. So again, I am now looking for trousers. Oh, let me show you another way that you could do this because I do have them here. So let's be a little bit lazy. I can say if this is equal this cell, careful locking the cell. And if you want to know more about locking cells, you can look at my previous video about VLOOKUPs, where I talk about in a bit more detail how locking cells works and how you can lock a cell correctly. But just to make this video quick, I'm going to lock that cell. So I am saying if it's trousers, I want to assign the value 15. There you go. Now it's not trousers. I now want to check if it's a coat. And if it's not trousers, for now, I'm going to assign the value 111. Close my if condition, and let's see what happens. There you go. So you are now seeing that trousers are assigning the value 15, the same here, but we are still looking for coats. So again, another nested if. If this is not true, then I still want to look here, and I want to see if it's a coat. Again, careful locking the coat. If it is, I want to return the value 79, locking it. And if not, I want to return the value 111. Now, let's read this formula. I have if, and this is a very good practice. Anyone can read formulas. You just have to start at the beginning and see what you are doing, paying attention to where your commas are placed and where your brackets are closed. So if or shirt or dress, 28. Yes. Comma, value if true. Yeah, 28. Comma, if not, and this whole thing is my value if this is false, and this is the closing brackets. So if it's false, I'm seeing if it's trousers. Now, if this logical test is met, if it's trousers, I'm returning the value 15. And if not, I have another if condition where I check, but if it's a coat, I return the value 79. And only if none of these are met, I return the value 111. So there you go. I drag it down. I now can see my 79s pop up, and my others, oh, I don't actually have any others because I have here all my items of clothing. Just to finish off, I want to show you a small trick, and I'm just thinking that maybe I'll do another video just on this because this is very handy, but to show you a little trick that might make your life easier, especially when you are doing with long conditions and nested ifs. It can get a little bit messy. So something you can do to see if your thinking is correctly and if your commas are in the right place and if your formula is generally making sense is you click on one of the cells that has your formula, and you go into this tab, Formulas, and you click on Evaluate Formula. And what this is going to do is it's going to talk you through, well, not talk you through, but it's going to show you through what Excel is doing and how it's looking at your formula. So if you type in Evaluate, you can see that this cell is underlined. So the first thing it's looking at is it's looking at B4, trousers. So it's saying, is trousers equal to shirts? No, it's not. So if you do evaluate again, false. So if it's false, it goes to the next one, and it's saying, is trousers, is B4 equal to dress? We now have an if condition that has an or, false and false. So none of them are true. So that's false. So it goes on to the next one, 28. That's the value if it's true, but because it's false, false. It's an NA. Now on to the next one. If trousers equals trousers, now that's true. And return H3. What's H3? My 15. There you have it. That's how it gets to the value 15. So this is a little trick that you can do just to see if you are thinking correctly. I don't always do this. I find, to be honest, I find that it's a lot quicker if you learn just how to read your formula and pay attention to the brackets and the commas, but this is something very handy, especially if you are looking at larger ifs, nested ifs, big conditions, or if you are a beginner and you want to learn how to do it and you want to evaluate as you go. Talking about this made me think that I might do a video just on evaluating formulas and how you can use it to everything basically in Excel and how it is very handy even to the most advanced Excel users. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find this useful. And most importantly, I really do hope you get to use this in your job or in your business, in anything that you do, and you might find this helpful and useful. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks, guys. And don't forget to see me on Instagram. I do very short stories. I teach you how to do these things.